Γεια σας, είμαι η Κατερίνα Corelli. Καλώς ήρθατε στο κανάλι μου. Hello, I'm Catherine Corelli. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel and to my Instagram account if you're watching on Instagram or on TikTok. In whichever case, of course, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel or to my accounts. Hit that bell notification if you're on YouTube, because YouTube by default will not show you my content. If you like my content, you probably wouldn't want to miss it. I'm publishing videos every third day. So on to the painting. This is a little different now because after painting how many horses? I think 4 horse paintings. I decided that I really want to go for something that I want even more. Like painting horses, just horses, is cool, but I have ideas. And those ideas revolve more around along the lines of how do we... Oh, let me roll this back. These ideas are more about the more philosophical kind of psychological aspect of things. I like to infuse my paintings with thought-provoking stuff. I want the viewer to interpret. A horse painting is a horse painting, and there is a variety of ways, of course, how one can make it into a spiritual painting. But when you put a person and a horse in one painting, that's when it becomes interesting, I think. And there's a lot to think about. Now, I'm not going to disclose what meaning I was putting into this painting specifically. The title of the painting is You're Mine. And this is kind of, yeah. This is where I was at that point in the painting. The painting is called You're Mine. And I open it out to interpretation. Whoever wants to interpret it in what way, you're free to do so. I wanted the combined facial expressions of the girl and the horse. I wanted to see a dialogue here. It's a dialogue between two creatures, two living creatures. And at the same time, it's a little symphony in color and shape, the way I see it. And this one was amazingly pleasurable to paint. I don't know what's about this painting, but something about it just made it kind of flow naturally. It just went so well. I really enjoyed painting this one. Even more than the previous one. The previous one was fine. It was enjoyable. I mean, I can't remember a painting that I painted that I did not find enjoyable. There were some paintings which I felt like I'm starting to drag a little bit, like I'm sitting on it for too long and it becomes kind of a little tedious and I'm being bogged down. I hate the feeling of being bogged down, really. I get frustrated. And when I start to feel bogged down, I know that it's time to let go of something. Something has to go, and then I have to clear the path in front of me, and then I should just, just go there. And then just make it happen. Some paintings are like that, but this painting just flowed so well. I'm not saying it was easy to paint, though. It's not really about the ease of the work. It's more about the flow. There was something about this particular work that made it very satisfying, very enjoyable. I liked it. And I think some of it translated into the painting. maybe it's the composition itself. Maybe it's the novelty of this, I don't know, of the models. Because I wanted not just a horse, I wanted a girl there. And I like the idea so much that the next painting after this one is again about a girl and a horse. And then the next one is again about a girl and a horse. And I think the next two paintings are going to be about a girl and a horse. I first thought that I would be painting more like some, racing horses and that kind of stuff. But I don't really, yeah, that's cool, that's beautiful. There's a lot that can be painted, but that's not really what interests me. What interests me is something else, something beyond that. And that comes from the dialogue between these two. Between these two and the viewer, because ultimately the way I see it is that when you look at a painting and there is something in that painting, you enter a dialogue. And in that regard, I think there's a spiritual element to this. I don't know how bizarre do I sound right now, but I think that there is a spiritual element to this, a strong spiritual element. When you look at someone else's painting, someone put themselves into that painting. They put their life, they put the vision, they put the part of their soul into that painting. If it's an authentic painting, of course, right? That's kind of why it's important to paint authentically and to write music authentically. Because then you actually live through your work. To me, my works, all of them, my paintings and my music, they're my children. They're my children whom I birth, and then they go out into the world and they live their own life. And people judge them, and some people don't like them, and other people love them a lot. And, somebody buys my painting, and that painting is going to be in their home, and it's going to look back at them. And it's almost a little creepy. It's kind of weird to think about it this way, but it's almost like they're going to be looking at a part of me, and I'm going to be looking at them. So there's something very intimate and very important and very profound about this, you know what I mean? It's the same thing with poetry and writing and arts, generally speaking. There's something very human and very intimate about all these things. And it has to be real exactly for that reason. It can't be faked. It can't be... you can't fake it, and you can't... you can't take it out of art and then say that it's art, because it's not. In order for it to be art, it has to contain that element of actual human presence. Therefore, by the way, I think that those people who are worried that AI will take over and there will be no more art, I think that people shouldn't be worried about that, really. AI is just a tool. It's just technology, and that's all it is. It doesn't have a human soul. It doesn't have the human experience to it. It's not human, so it can't deliver a piece that has the imprint of a human soul. So I think one should not worry. I think people should worry more about being true to themselves, being true to the idea, being true to their vision, being true to their story, and telling their real, authentic story the way it is. And that's priceless. That's what makes an art piece unique. And that's kind of my vision. So anyways, here's the finished work. Thank you very much for being with me, and until next time, ciao.